Hey everyone, this is Kyle once again, aka Jurassic Godzilla fan. I'm gonna be talking about my last review today, and what better way that to review is the last thing about the Tremors series is the television show Tremors the series, which is the only season they released. It was short-lived. It only made 13 episodes, and it's on three discs. It's only made on 13 episodes, and which is a shame because I did like the series. When I first heard they were making a series, I went, okay, cool, you know. And they did, but they only made 13 episodes, and it was canceled, which is a shame. And this is the last thing, pretty much the last thing about the. No, actually, it was released in the year 2000. It was released only in the year 2003, so. Tremors 4: The Legend Begins was the last thing that happened in the series. So it was before. So this was before the number 4. So what the story is, it takes place after Tremors 3, Back to Perfection. It takes place after that. And the age then get and Michael Gross is still once again reprises his role as Burt Gummer. And the girl who was, I think, was the niece to Walter Chang and to Victor Wong in the first film. And the character appeared in the third film, but it was by a different actress. This time it's played by a different actress by the name of Leila Lee. I think that's her name, as Jodie Chang. So those are the and also Marisha Strassman. She plays as Nancy. Originally was played by Charlotte Stewart, who played Nancy in the first and third film, but this time Marisha Strassman plays Nancy this time, and I know her. She played in the film with Rick Moranis, Honey I Shrunk the Kids. She played as his wife. She was in that, and they introduced new characters like Tyler Reed, played by Victor Browne. He's the guy who came in the first episode. He came to Perfection to take the Desert Jack Grab Boy tours. He got a job there, so he's taking over the tour. And also introduces to the niece to Miguel, who was in the first and third film, and he died in the third film. His niece, played by Rosalita, played by Gladys Jimazis. I don't think that's how her last name sounds, but I just tried to pronounce it as best I could. So she plays as the niece to Miguel, who she always has for a roundup, who takes care of her cattle and her land and everything, and. Other main characters, Dean Norris. You may know Dean Norris mainly from the TV show Breaking Bad, and recently appeared in the TV show of Stephen King's Under the Dome. And he's been and also had minor roles in other movies, but Breaking Bad is pretty much know who Dean Norris comes from. And he plays as the government agent who's pretty much in charge, who lets the residents live in perfection, And he gives Burt Gummer and his Tyler other assignments, to what's going on, if there's any new Grab Boys, he should hunt them down or something like that, So yeah, and you have some other recurring characters though, but one thing which other thing I part of this TV series, you get only for pretty much a well-known special guest star, and that is Christopher Lloyd. I'm glad that Christopher Lloyd will be able to be a part of the Tremors series. Christopher Lloyd, from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, Doc Brown. He's in this, as he plays as not only in the series, not only is this Graboids, you get Graboids, Shriekers, and Ass-Classes, but Christopher Lloyd, he was one of the scientists of this lab that was once in perfection, now it's gone, but he was part of a this lab who made different kinds of experiments, who created this called Mixmaster, which fuses DNA of other different species stuff. Like in an episode called Project 412, his experiments with which he called it, which he would blended a DNA from a few different species. So it was it was told, the episode was told from the first time how they met. His name Cletus, which was his character's name, Cletus Poffenberger, and he only appeared in 3 episodes. This one, Project 412, Ghost Dance, and Flora or Fauna. And that's most of the series. Lots of the series episodes are about different creatures that was from the lab by Mixmaster. Like Ghost Dance, it was about this living bacteria that sucks the water out of living things, like as in humans and others, and just plain water, And like the Flora Fauna, that was about this mutated plant that spits out acid and causes people just to be skeletons. And like in the episode Water Hazard, there was a prehistoric shrimp, but it had Mixmaster in it, or the Sounds of Silence, there was these mutated bugs that first, when they originally eat wood because it had DNA of termites, but then it eats flesh, because it had a little bit of maggot DNA in that. So it gets like creatures like that, from that was once part of the lab using Mixmaster. But you also get episodes which is about the Graboids, and 2 episodes with Shriekers, Shriek and Destroy, and Night of the Shriekers, and there was only 1 episode with the Ass Blaster, Blast from the Past, which the Ass Blaster was the same Ass Blaster that was from the 3rd film that was captured by Nancy and Mindy. So you see that Ass Blaster again in that episode, Blast from the Past. And that was also an episode where Bert was teaching. He was teaching like a survival school. He's teaching guys how to survive out in the wilderness. And then there was also Christopher Lloyd was not the only special guest star though, but there was another special guest star, which was in the episode Hit and Run, where these 2 guys, they're henchmen to another guy played by Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker, who recently is now well known, who played Merle from The Walking Dead. He has a special guest star in an episode of Hit and Run of the show Tremors series. He's like the boss of this thing. He gives them to one guy a key to open a vault that had like bearer bonds in it, like hundreds of dollars in bearer bonds. But when they tell him to lay low, so they go to Perfection because they saw on TV that the guy named Frankie. If you hear that, please ignore that if you hear that. But a guy named Frankie thinks he saw on TV that he saw a graboid take out tourists, but didn't need him because they scared him away with a frag grenade because the guy stepped out of the Jeep, which he wasn't supposed to. And Frankie says, "Oh, that looks fake," And the other guy, named Max, he told him we're gonna go over there to prove it's not real, to prove it is real. But then it eats him, but he goes there and it eats him anyway. But he had the key on him, so Michael Rook comes over there to help Frankie to kill El Blanco. But El Blanco was the white graboid from number 3, he's the only graboid that comes back from the 3rd film. He was a harpoon. He harpooned whales and stuff. He tried to use a harpoon gun to kill him, but it backfires, and he gets a harpoon straight through him, and he gets eaten by El Blanco. So yeah, Michael Rooker, he had a special appearance in an episode of Tremors series, which was cool, including Christopher Lloyd. But there was other episodes dealing with other stuff like one episode with Ass Blaster, 2 episodes with Shriekers, 2 episodes of one episode that was dealing with one of the Graboid, and 2 episodes, I think 2 episodes with El Blanco. But most of the other episodes dealing with different experiments that happened at this lab with Mixmaster. When it came out, it did get a few good reviews, but then shortly it got canceled, which is sad. You know, I would love to honestly, I would love to see more of what Tremors the series, see what more kind of cool mutant mutations from this mixed master experiment stuff. You know. Throughout the series, the characters, I think they all did fine. You know that Michael Grossi still does fine as Burt Gummer. I liked Victor Browne played Tyler Reed. Dean Norris has the government agent. His name is Twitchell. I liked him. I liked him in this. I don't watch Breaking Bad though, but I know he still does good in the series, along with Bryan Cranston, the star of Breaking Bad. I haven't seen Under the Dome though, so but maybe one day I will. Other cast members, Marisha Strassman as Nancy, she does good. Other recurring characters, also Robert Jane, who played Melvin from Tremors 1 and 3. He only appears in 2 episodes. He only appears in 2 episodes. And he still does fine, though. There's other recurring characters. The guy named Frank from the guy Nicholas Tortoro who played Frank in the episode of Hit and Run. He appears in another one called The Key episode called The Key in the Tremors series. I guess there's not. I guess I'm saying this pause because there's not much to say about this because it's TV series. It's not much because it's not a movie. But it only ran from March 28th all the way to August 8th, year 2003. It was created by the writers of all the Tremors films, S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock, including there was another one who was also helped work on the first Tremors film, Nancy Roberts. So they helped when creating on the series. So okay. The series yeah, there's not much on the good reviews not much say on Wikipedia because I don't trust Wikipedia sometimes. But has the series is 6.4 on IMDb. Okay, I think that's pretty decent. I didn't mention about Tremors 3 and Tremors 4 what they have on IMDb. I'm just going back. I'm just quickly going back on it so I can just so that you would know. Although you could research yourself though, but I'm just saying. I said that the first Tremors has a 7.1 IMDb. That's great. Tremors 2 has a 5.7 on IMDb. I think that could be much more higher. Then I'm just checking what because I didn't mention what Tremors 3 had on IMDb. Tremors 3 has a 5.3 on IMDb. I think it could be just like, well, I think it's pretty. I think that's I think that's fair. You know, it should like have a 5.3. I think it should have a 5.3, at least 5.5. I'd say like halfway through there. And Tremors 4, The Legend Begins, has and that one has a 5.2 on IMDb. I think it could be a little bit more higher, like a little bit more than Tremors 3, like a 5.6 or 7. If Tremors 2 has 5.7, I would say I would put that with 5.7. But Tremors 2 I think should be higher, like a 7.0 or so on IMDb. So I would say there's not much for me to review on Tremors the series. So let me do a quick recap. Let me do it in order like this. So let me do it like this. Quick recap. Tremors, the first Tremors 1, classic. Always loved this one. Would be my favorite. Pure classic creature feature. Tremors 2, love the sequel. Always want the best sequel in the series. Always a little bit underrated at times, as I say, but other than that, I really enjoy the sequel. Always will be. Great film. Tremors 3, Back to Perfection. That's a little bit more or less than Tremors 2, but Tremors 1 is up there on my top list. Tremors 2 is on the list too, but Tremors 3 is not though. But I like it just a little bit. I would say a little bit more or less than the first two films. So, and then Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. I like just like I said, I just like Tremors 4 just by a pinch of salt more than Tremors 3. Because I like this. I like when I put the Grab Boys in the Wild West. So just by a pinch of salt, I like it a teensy bit better than Tremors 3. And then Tremors the series, which is sad that they canceled it shortly after 13 episodes. And yeah, but I like the series. I'll always like the series because some things they did with it, with different experiments of the creatures and stuff, was cool looking. Some of the digital effects, some of them were CG, some were mixed of CGI, but yeah, some were practical, so that's a good thing. So yeah, that's Tremors series, and that's my review on that's my first reviews on here on YouTube, and hopefully into the month of October of horror films, which I'll be reviewing next. So that's my review on the Tremors series. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next horror film I'm going to review on the next review. So stay tuned. Later.